Ha! 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 Start a recording? Yes? Not with gloves. My wonderful, beautiful touch bed doesn't work with gloves. Walking stupidly here, right? Look, there's the guy with the grey-orange hands. Board from Osterholz, the legendary beard from Osterholz. Yes, you see, I'm still too cold, but it will get better. So, Feinwerkbau? 150? Yes, you all know it. The classic. You probably don't know it. This thing is about as old as I am, so it also has a beard. And I would say, let's take care of the paperwork first. Yes, well, I think that's self-explanatory. I keep saying I am not a marksman. And for those who don't know me, 10 meters sitting supported on a target with a diopter. There's more to it. I'm sure there's more to it. So, this is really something impressive that comes out of it. By the way, 10 shots. You can't read 10 shots outside. I don't really need to say anything about these performances. When it says Feinwerkbau, you don't really have to worry much. I'll start. No, I think I'll start by simply admiring this beautiful wood. This comes from a collector, which means I don't have a purchase price for it because I acquired several air rifles for a total price, and now it's difficult to calculate that for the individual rifle. Yes, the collector has taken good care of it. Now let's start here with the serial number. According to the database, which is fortunately partially public now, this thing dates back to 1965. I also have some data here, somewhere. This is a Feinwerkbau 150 with the serial number 11247. It can be traced back, and you have to set it quite precisely to the first half of 1965, and it shoots approximately on average, well, not on average, but rather at the upper limit of 8.3 joules. Yes, that is legal, because it does not have the F mark, as the F mark did not come until 1970. Everything before that does not know this limit. Yes. Yes, well. Then let's start reading. On one hand, it says made in Germany and patented. Ah, it is patented. How nice. Feinwerkbau, Ober, Oberwitz, Obern, Oberndorf, Oberndorf, / Frankfurt-Main. Here at the back we have the LG, model Feinwerkbau 150, caliber 4.5 / 177, serial number. No F mark, of course, that didn't exist back then. 1000? Yes. That was the reading. Let's continue. I find the wood sensational. There might be a bit too much dark grain in it, but compared to this boring uniform wood that you usually find in competition weapons, I think this is wonderfully done. It is dark wood, there is a fish skin here, one cheek piece is on. It is a right-handed model, but it can certainly be shot left-handed, although I look at the shape from above. So it is definitely more hollowed out here for right-handed users. I don't know if left-handed shooters would be really happy with it. 2000, 1000. The wood is simply the most beautiful part of it, which we also have here. You all surely know the Feinwerkbau 300, which is tapered at the front. It has been like this for a while. So, there is a bit of the ancestor at play here. Underneath, the rail, for barrel wedges, for grips, for whatever you want to attach there. Regarding the trigger, you can only see an adjustment screw here at first glance. However, behind the adjustment screw, can you see that there is a relatively deep chamber that disappears somewhere inside where my great spotlights can't shine? But I can say in advance, the trigger is, of course, what you would expect. It was a competition weapon, and accordingly the trigger is great fine cream. Yes, a diopter. Yes, it has a diopter, doesn't it? It has a tension lever. We also know from the Feinwerkbau 300. So, here is a locking mechanism that you have to release, and then you can tension it backward. Yes, that really surprises no one. Since I can't strike this thing empty, you probably wouldn't believe it. I'm now putting a lead weight in here. Note, this thing will of course be sold by me again at some point. A little oil, maybe even a set of new seals, wouldn't be a bad idea. So it still shoots with plenty of joules. But somehow when I look at it like this, I don't know. I'll hold it up to the camera for you, you can see. It's difficult. The lighting is just more from the side here, so that it doesn't all reflect in the glasses. You have to really put some force into it, just like with him. So now comes the trick. First, pull it somewhere where I hopefully won't mess anything up. The trigger is a proper preferred way at the moment. Yes. The trigger is of course fantastic, that's clear. So now we come... Oh no, I'll continue. First with the diopter, it's clear what one end looks like. You know, the other end. I'll hold the barrel right in front of your nose again. I can only do this because you are just a camera. There is a ring sight in it. This is the muzzle of the barrel. The whole thing is, would say, made of steel. You can definitely change the ring sights. However, I believe you can't install an eye here. So, it's only screwed on one side. So, the back is fixed, meaning you can't adjust it up and down, as is often the case with various shotguns. The stock is perfect. You don't need to understand anything about it. It's just good. It's great. The diopter is top-notch. And as long as you shoot at this type of target, where the black isn't too large and there's a white in the middle, it's perfect. I took the shots for it yesterday, just sat down, and said, everything fits. The stock fits, the height of the sighting fits, the GR. It's Feinwerkbau, you know. What else would you expect? So, now we unfortunately come to the somewhat less pleasant part, namely that this thing was owned by a collector who never shot it. Or it also looks like it was never shot. So here I find maybe 2 or 3 small blemishes on the barrel. There isn't a speck of rust on it. The bluing is practically like new. That's probably how it came out of the store. I know collectors have even higher standards that need to be applied, but as a regular used knife viewer, I can tell you, I rarely get something this fine in my hands. I also see nothing on the wood. I also see no stickers, so it doesn't look like this thing was ever used in competition. Here is a scratch, there's a scratch. Can you see it? Somehow? But that's all. That's it. So, in great condition. Now we come to one thing, namely, that it is firm, that is good. I do it like this. And now I'm doing it like this, not well. This is the recoil that the thing normally has, what one can do at the moment, and what one should not be able to do. I am seriously considering whether I might not just shove individual pellets in here without gloves, doing this intentionally wrong now. So, now I would have a normal air rifle with a normal recoil. Did you see that, right? Feels completely normal like a normal air rifle, just like that. No, let me hold 3 of them again. Well, gloves after all. Maybe I need to rethink this glove thing somehow. And now, I'm pushing it forward and nudging it once. And now, this is again this number. Nothing, no recoil, nothing at all. Soft as butter with the super trigger. So that means there is either some kind of spring inside here that normally pushes the thing forward again, or, yeah, I don't know. Something is up with the mechanics, but I think it has. It could be something like a latch or something, a catch latch at the front that normally holds the thing in place, because when you cock it, there's a little tick at the back that pushes everything forward, and I suspect something is supposed to hook in there normally. Did you notice it? I could move it and now it's stuck. It's probably exactly the catch latch that is supposed to engage here normally. I have no idea. I'm not going to start taking the thing apart. These recoil things are a bit more complicated than regular brake actions, and that's why I won't mess with it. How should I lay it down? I think it looks better this way. The wood is so much nicer. So that means we unfortunately have a small defect here. which is probably a piece of cake for someone who constantly disassembles and reassembles precision mechanics. But I won't even start. I know myself. There will be some spring errors flying around and I won't have any idea where they belong. That's why I'll sell it later as it is. Yes, aside from that, well, Feinwerkbau, right? What should one say about Feinwerkbau? The thing is beautiful. It feels great. It is clearly a predecessor of the other. And everything fits. It's like people always say, if you buy a used Feinwerkbau from eGang, you usually can't go wrong. If everything works, right? If it weren't for that stupid recoil. Great. So I'm torn. Look, I've already spent 11 minutes and 22 seconds on something so beautiful. And then to make an 11-minute video out of it, that's almost a sacrilege. Sos eos. But there's just not much to say. About quality. Oh, look here. Wear points. Wear marks. There, you can see it, right? There's a bit of wear. That means someone must have had it in their hands often, but they took good care of it afterwards. That's it. I'm always happy. I hardly buy air rifles and air pistols here for the channel anymore. Because at some point, you've had everything on the table, and you don't really need the 30th knicker to do it again. Instead, I've gone through all the knickers. Instead, I buy something like this because it's just beautiful. Surfaces are processed quite differently. The thing is ancient 1965. Don't even need to calculate that. That's 59 years. I am 62. The thing is 3 years younger than I am. Wow. So nearly 60 years for that. 60 years. I haven't aged as well as that thing. So, what else is there to say about it? Well, I don't really have any super great things to say. Although I have a catalogue from Anne Dunmals here, but I don't think she's in it. That would be something. I'm going to take a look now to buy some time. For this purpose, I will also take off my nice gloves, because I have to stop the video anyway, as the touchpad doesn't like that. Air rifles were all the way back there. That's about all I remember. All the way back with the toys. Here, Walter, but those are the .22 caliber. Or is that the air rifle? Those are air rifles, Diana. Walter. Ammunition for air rifles, room guns. Those were different times. They didn't have that much back then. No, Feinwerkbau wasn't distributed back then. Well, let's get to it. So we're going to ruthlessly go through this catalogue. I don't know anything about it. Yes, the Obda here, the Obda there. I really have nothing to say about it. That's actually a shame because I always think when I compare it to the stuff that often comes into my hands, 2001, it's just a dream. Also, old Walter, old Diana, it just can't get any better. And this here is not pressboard or anything like that. Rather, the grain depends on which part of a tree it comes from. I don't know. Beech. What do you use for something like this? Beech is probably one of the cheapest options you can get. It's still almost always better than the stuff you sometimes get thrown at you nowadays, especially if it's not plastic. 2001 also feels wonderful. The thing is just great. So, that should actually be it because I don't have any more factual information than that. I told you what you wanted to know and probably a lot more that you didn't want to know. And then I would say, that's it for now. Yes. 60 times the guy with the crazy orange phone and the legendary board. I'm completely green. Well, I have to quickly hit stop on the nonsense I'm delivering today. It's better that way. It's not that easy. Press. Here. No, it doesn't work. Oh, I think I'm lying underneath here somewhere and probably touching in two places at the same time. Not going so well.